picking up on Linux, and
Mhm.
just a slight fan noise, and
Mhm.
I don't know how to install all my recording stuff on Linux, and sometimes doesn't even work that well on Linux. So I don't know. It's eh, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of. Just it sounds to me like when you plug your earbuds in, what happens is the input switches automatically to them. That's what it
Hmm.
seems like is happening.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's so much. I mean, this is the thing. Like past generations, like never had to deal with all this like technology stuff, and they say like, oh, like what does that have to do with like? But we would work. But it's like now work has gotten so much more complicated. Where if you don't have the best technology, like you can't fill that online application if you don't even have a computer at home and you need to go to the library and stuff, and like I don't you know it's very very different. It's like, and then yeah, like if you're not like technically adept, you're gonna have that much trouble with like your like employment situation and stuff. It's
Yeah,
a crazy
that
crazy
is the
thing out
truth,
there,
man.
you know. Yeah, and some so if you're in survival mode, when the hell do you ever get a chance to like deal with all the technical aspects of our society that are just as complicated even when you're not in survival mode? And yeah, that's where our idiot leaders drop the ball, and like all these old people in Congress, they don't know shit about any of this, and they all have their aides to like help them all out, and they have the gall to like call people lazy. It's complete just hypocrisy and bullshit, you know? But of course, it's my words. That's why we're getting the word out.
It's true. It is. It is
Yeah,
complete hypocrisy, and there's
yeah,
a complete disconnect. Like Sheridan, tweeted about how the economy is failing, how he has to take, accept like coins because people can't pay him in dollars for the services he provides, and
right. Yeah, but yeah, even like
yeah,
think about it that way. If you have, even if you have like the best skills, and like you're really really above average intelligence, it doesn't matter if the people around you are all poor. Like there's no opportunity to make money. It's like,
yeah, it's true.
you know, it's so ridiculous. It has
You
not
can't. I
nothing
mean,
to
yeah,
do with
unless you have to go find a customer base elsewhere, then you're not serving your own community. You're really dehumanized through your work. That's not a good way to
right.
live.
Exactly. It's so that's why so many people work online, and like if
Mm-hmm.
the entire community is like working online, like then where's the human element to a community? Like who
Right.
goes out and
Right.
says
Yeah.
hi? It's so freaking crazy, man. And
Yeah, and
like
then like
yeah,
you don't socialize with the people you work with, and you don't like know the people you don't work with well enough to socialize with them because you work so damn
right.
much, or you don't work at all. It's like one or the other.
Yeah.
Like that's the society
Yeah.
we have. Like you're either working 60 hours a week, or you're not. You haven't worked in 6 months. It's one of those.
Yeah. It's just so off. It's just
That's
so
America.
like, and
Crazy.
yeah, and then that's why like the UBI is like the great equalizer. It's the
Yeah,
great like it'll equalize like
it's
all this
true.
sanity, and it's like because like like someone living next to you. I mean, and it's funny, like that's what pisses me off so much about these morons who like didn't grow up with like exponential technology growth, like judging the generations coming after who are, when they can't even like know how to log into their own email.
Hmm.
And they like my for a while, like my mom didn't even understand what the X button does on a computer screen. I mean, that is the most freaking basic. It closes the window. It's like, how do I get out of here? Yeah. I don't know how adept your parents are at technology, but yeah.
Well, my dad died when I was little, but my
Oh,
mom is about average, I guess, for a woman of advanced years.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
it's like I said in the show, I just can't talk politics with my mom. These
Right.
days, I love
Yeah.
my mom, of
Well,
course,
I
but you
mean,
know.
my like my mom's still a Trump supporter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like she like in the whole thing, like and I mean, like I said, I used to be too until
Yeah, and my
I
mom
kind
says
of
like,
like woke up from that.
yeah, my
Yeah,
mom
go
says
ahead.
like I sound like a Trump supporter. You know,
Right,
there's no
exactly.
room for any
Like
any deviance.
that's it. Here's where we can come
Yeah,
together
it's
on like the
exactly.
on like the nuance of everything,
Mm-hmm.
whereas our parents are just like, you know, in their they call it their intellectual ghettos.
Yeah,
You know, doesn't matter how rich you are, you could live in an intellectual ghetto at any socioeconomic status.
it's true.
And
Yeah.
yeah, you know, and it just amazed me how like she's even buying some of the voter fraud stuff that Trump is selling, and I'm like, oh my god, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man.
You know, I
Not
think,
not like that.
I mean, some of it might be true.
Yeah, I guess,
We
but
do
I
have a
mean,
lot of
like,
voter fraud. I mean, Trump does lie. He says whatever behooves him, whatever is expedient, but we
right?
also do have a lot of voter fraud. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah,
It's a great country.
yeah, yeah. It's just
Yeah.
and since she comes from Iran, she's always like praising this place, not understanding. She comes from like a kind of like well-to-do, wealthy Iran that escaped the revolution. So this place is just like, you know, nirvana. But for me, it's like, you
Yeah.
know, yeah. And she doesn't understand that. She's like, oh, America is only this. America is this because we. I'm like, Mom, you're only saying that because you came from a country like Iran.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you wouldn't really be saying that if you came from like Scandinavia or
Yeah,
Australia
some
or
people just buy the
like
hype so bad.
right, exactly. Like why you think like it's not like all the refugees that come from like kind of like third world and communist countries always come here and like become like Republican and conservative and rah America and stuff
Yeah.
like that when you know it's I
It,
mean, I see how that happens, but it's still they still don't know what they're missing because they were so dramatized from you know the experiences they have at their countries of origin. So their level of like what's good is like if you're not actively being bombed or stolen from, then it's the greatest country on earth.
yeah, exactly. It's
Right.
like they think. Well, I mean, it's something to be said for gratitude. It's for sure good to appreciate what you have, but don't let it scare you
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
thinking you couldn't do better.
and don't right. It like tricks them into
Yeah,
thinking that this is like the
right.
pinnacle, like this when it's not.
It's a lack of
You know.
nuance you brought up, like, and the way they think of it, it's like, oh, hey, you don't appreciate this. No, that's not it at
Yeah.
all. You know, yeah, sure, it could be worse, but that doesn't mean it's good enough.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
that simple,
That's
yeah.
the thing. And I think that that's a lot of like what older people like grew up with. It's if it's not like actively hell, that means it's good. Like, but no, that's not what we're aiming at over here. It's like then why should we ever evolve? Like human evolution is just like there's so many people who want to dig in their heels like against evolution and shit like that,
Yeah.
and just take people with them. They're you know, especially if they're parents, because it's like, oh, like you if you're like a son or a daughter without your own, you know, making income, it's like you're basically just, oh, what I say goes, and like you're just along for the ride and shit like that, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I hate that shit, but it's like I have enough experiences of like traveling the world by myself to like, you know you know stuff, and every single time I come back, I'm like I mean not even even when I go to a different state, I come back here and I'm like, yeah, this place sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah, Oregon.
it's a hard feeling to have that
Yeah.
realization over and over again. It's not fun.
Right, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like if I could build a support network, you know, not in LA, I'd certainly be in like, you know, some of those places. But it's a hey, it's a marathon though.
You must at least have really good internet in LA, right?
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. It's
we
just
got to
pretty
get
good.
you streaming for us.
Yeah, but
Let's
it's
take
not in New
advantage.
York, like because you're not in the city part of New York, but you're
My
already
my
doing the.
internet's okay. I am able to do one of the streams, but we
Yeah,
need you, who has probably comparable or better internet to me, do the other one for a bit,
yeah, for
if
sure.
possible. Yeah.
It's just this stupid fan and juggling Linux and Windows. Like
Yeah.
it's getting on my nerves, but hey, yeah. I mean even when I like for my whole drone thing, like I don't know if like Adobe Photoshop like license is gonna be worth it because they charge you every month, and if I'm not gonna be making money on the business. But then there's also like DaVinci Resolve,
Mhm.
that's free, but I'm not knowing how to download the DaVinci Resolve on Linux. I need some help from my friend from that. You know.
Yeah. I'm not sure either.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's God damn, it's so fucking confusing. It's like whatever. It's just
Well,
like and my friend's a
you
coder,
can learn
so
it. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
like, you just learn your particular distro of Linux, and it's pretty. Once you learn how to install software, it's consistent. You know.
Yeah, like with the terminal and shit
So
like
don't
that.
get
Like
too discouraged. It's not completely random, nonsensical.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I guess video games have spoiled me because they're so intuitive. Like I
Yeah.
don't get confused because it's like, oh, okay, so like this does this and that does this and this. But then you get into computers and it's like all over the fucking place, and it's like, yeah, yeah, it's the thing. But yeah, definitely learn. No, the thing that pisses me off is like all the time and effort that I put into learning 3D printing and graphic design and all that like digital printing and shit from that thing at the Digital Learning Academy that was like in Hollywood. And then I went through that whole program, and it was still a pain in the ass to like find jobs and shit like that. It was like that. And then the jobs that you do get are like temp. I was like, oh, god damn it! Like, can you get a job that they just don't want 300 hours for you or just keep you for a season? You can just like fucking stay. It's like, yeah, and then they call you lazy for not wanting to work. It's like, fuck you, idiot. Yeah, yeah, it's a stretch. But this is cool. Like creating lasting things that are going to like be there as like records and stuff. And that's good because it's like I can't think of like one school project or university project that I did all those years past that have like stuck around to like keep in some kind of portfolio or help me later in life and shit. So it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to step out for a second. Just got back.
Sure. And I'm gonna switch to Linux. If the sound doesn't work, I'm just gonna switch over to my phone.
Okay.
But I'm gonna find out what's wrong.
But yeah,
Okay.
give it a go.
Talk to you later.
Bye. Ah. There we go. That's good. you.